Italian beverage vendor Campari knocked offline after ransomware attack.
I hate to see it.
Now, the Campari Group, they own also Cinzano, Appleton. What they don't mention in the article is that they actually own or Aperol. You guys ever have Aperol spritzers? Fantastic.
I mean, if you're asking me, I'm thinking gin and vermouth.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Gin, vermouth, and Campari. It's like the most classic drink of all time, besides the martini.
So it's obviously bad that a hacker was able to hold Campari for ransom. But what I'm finding interesting, it sounds like this was a single hacker, not a ransomware gang. Is that right?
Yeah, one was listed, Pancake 3. Or the name is PANCAK3.
That's just pancake.
Okay, pancake.
That's pancake in hacker speak.
The first.
The first and only. So, but it's weird, right? Because usually ransomware is done by a gang, right? It's a group of hackers that all get together, they deploy the same ransomware, and then they all go about, infecting people. It's weird for ransomware to be one hacker. I don't think we've had a story where it's been one hacker before.
Maybe Pancake is a group? Because it just said hacker Pancake.
What I've never heard. No, that means it's a hacker. So it sounds like one hacker has some ransomware. I'd be interested to know what variety of ransomware it was, and if it was ransomware as a service. So these days you can just get ransomware as COTS, as commercial off-the-shelf software. So you can pay to own some ransomware, and then you can break in somewhere and deploy it. And it sounds like this hacker just had some ransomware and they broke in somewhere and then they held Campari up. Campari seems like a weird target, though. What do you guys think? Like, is this personally motivated? Are they Italian? Maybe. Why Campari of all businesses?
I don't know. It's it might have been just low-hanging fruit for them. That doesn't seem super high-tech. In other words, if Campari follows that same logic, they don't spend a ton on security. They're not hardened. They're not resilient. That seems like kind of an easy target to me. At the same time, they're a multi-million-dollar business. Clearly, been drinking Campari since forever.
With this particular one, it's $15 million to a company that is possibly making hundreds of $millions a year. Do you think that he'll get it? And is there any other, ransomware situation that comes to mind that you think he may just get it? They may just pay it and just say, okay, give us all of our control back. And then
any municipality comes immediately to mind. Big cities.
Yeah, cities have paid that much. The thing about ransomware is if you pay the ransom, no one knows. And so no one knows the biggest ransomware payoff unless you're looking at Bitcoin transactions and just assuming any Bitcoin transactions are ransomware payoff. But yeah, there could have been to date $1 billion ransomware payoff. We just would never know. It depends on what they got, how much they got, and what is that worth. And I think if they got Matthew McConaughey's contract, that's bad, but that's not $15 million bad. If they got like the all the PII and health records of all the employees and the secret formula to Campari, then maybe,
Yeah, but the point here is that most people, I think, kind of outside the industry assume that breaches have only to do with stealing secret data. I think a lot of companies that don't take security seriously make the same assumption, as in we don't have a secret formula for Campari, so you can hack us all you want. But a lot of it is about regular business operations. If you can get in, lock everybody out of email, you're not doing business until you actually pay the ransom. Yeah. And so, security is more than just stealing secret data. This is about actual business operations and even supply chain.
I think this is a low risk because they are a commercial packaged goods. And unless you have, you know, industrial controls on the same network as whoever's handling contracts for Matthew McConaughey, you don't run a big risk of your business shutting down. And so I would expect a low likelihood of payment. But you know, there's GDPR violations, right? And if Campari was found to be negligent, they could end up being fined, and the GDPR violations could be huge. Could be what, 3% of their annual revenue. So there's a chance that hackers got enough that if they don't pay the ransom, they'll pay more in fines.
Their annual revenue for 2017 was 1.8 billion, so that would be 54 million in fines.
There you go. So this is one definitely to watch to see if they actually pay the fine.